What's up, everybody? Jason from Jason's Exotic Reptiles. Another week, another video. We're back again. This week's video is actually going to cover the giveaway winner topic from 2 weeks ago, which was Emily V. Her comment was, show us the gang and how you picked out your crew. When did you decide to get some extra hands? Did you wait when it was affordable, or was it tough coming to the fact that you could use some help? Really cool in-depth video. Thanks for the folks who didn't know much about racks. Thanks. So that was the comment, the giveaway comment winner on the Freedom Breeder rack video. I am going to announce the winner of the 6 beginner reptile mistakes video today, and that's going to be a topic that I'm going to cover next week or in the upcoming weeks. So really cool comments. I really appreciate these comments because they're giving some awesome video ideas. This one was great, and I thought it was cool to try to highlight some of the guys that work for me, or I should say all of the guys that work for me. We're going to dive into really what drove me to get some people and get some help in here. It was a hard decision. So let's show off the crew, then we'll dive into the video and do the giveaway winner. I'm here with the crew behind me. We're gonna walk through. I'm gonna introduce you to them. I'm gonna have them do their own introductions, and we'll see where it goes. Who's going first?
Don't do me first, please.
Who wants to? You want to go first?
All right, I'll go first.
All right, guys, we're gonna do Greg first.
All
right, so this is Greg. Greg, tell me a little something about yourself. Who are you? What you from? What's your hobbies? What do you like?
I'm Greg from Connecticut. I like snakes, love music, love hanging out with these guys once a week. It's tons of fun, and they keep me busy and on my toes for sure.
What's your favorite snake you have here?
Well,
I know
this guy's pretty good right now.
All right, what's your favorite snake you have at home?
Favorite snake at home is probably a Hypo Central American.
Love it. All right, let's see what Zach's got going on over here. Zach, you got to pull a snake out. You got to be legit.
Oh, okay.
Come on. All right, it's the next one to clean. Zach, tell me a little something about yourself. What's your name? Where you from? You got an Instagram, Facebook? What do we got?
Hey, I'm Zach. Cohen's Constrictors on Instagram. From New York, and you know, I live like an hour away, just cleaning snakes.
Zach's awesome. We like Zach. Zach, what's your favorite snake you have at home? I think we already put you on the spot before, but what do you got?
I don't know, I've been really into my blood pythons lately.
All right, we got to get a little Dan Magano action on that. And what's your favorite snake that you see here?
That's a tough one. I like this snake, but it wants to kill me.
All right, fair enough. What's that one?
The Paraglow Fire.
Paraglow Fire.
I'm gonna leave it in there.
All right, you can leave it in there, but let's check it out. What do we got?
If it wants to kill me, it's in there somewhere.
Well, we got a head. And then last we got over here, we got Nick. Nick, what's up? What are we doing over here? What's give me a little something about yourself.
Name's Nick from East Haven, Connecticut, and I just love snakes.
What's your the business? Because you just had some reptiles too, right?
Oh yeah, I had some babies. You can check me out at Revive Reptiles on Instagram.
Perfect. We're gonna put all the links in the description. And what is your favorite snake you have at home? And what's your favorite snake you have here?
So favorite snake at home, probably the female Argentine.
Yes.
100% Het T positive. And then these guys are the favorite for here.
Oh, he's been asking to buy this snake, and I keep telling him no. He can't have it. That's an albino leopard that the camera's not picking up.
Thing's beautiful.
All right. That's the crew. We'll get back to the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little clip of the crew that I have here. And at this time, we're going to dive into it. But before I do that, I do want to announce the winner of this next week's giveaway, or I should say of that previous week's giveaway, because I don't want to forget about this. So while I have it fresh in my mind, the video topic, which I thought was great, and I see there were a lot of likes on this comment as well, so I know you guys for the majority did as well, but was video idea, costs of keeping a large collection. Caging, lighting, heating, electric bill, chest freezers, feeders, baby racks, if successful. I think that would be an interesting topic for people to hear the actual cost of maintaining a reptile room. Thanks for the great video. That was from Lee H. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Lee, if this is your comment, please email me. I'll put my email in the address above. I'm going to ask for a photo of your license so I can confirm that it's actually you, Lee H. from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your comment. Somebody else also did add another comment in addition to that and said, oh, that's a good one. I do my accounting once a year for tax purposes, and figures are scary. I don't think people realize how expensive it gets. So although I have covered this topic in the past somewhat, I'm going to dive a little bit more in depth on it, especially tax purposes, because this is something that is a factor of the business. And if you are going to breed reptiles at a certain scale, you're eventually going to have to turn this from a hobby to a business. There's a lot of stuff that people don't understand. So that's going to be that topic. But now back into this video, which I thought was a really good one, and again, took me a lot of decision and thinking to get to this point. So what really made me decide I needed some crew and I needed some help was not necessarily that I couldn't maintain it on my own. And that's what was difficult, is that I like to maintain my animals. If you are going to be serious about breeding and be successful, you have to maintain your animals, because there's things that you're going to see throughout the year that you cannot see unless you're physically in the cages cleaning them. You need to look at how they're behaving. You need to look at kind of just everything about the animal. And as you go through over the cycle of years, you're going to notice that breeding animals are doing different things than animals that aren't ready to breed yet. So females that have follicles are going to be sitting a different way. They're going to be in a different part of the cage. And then as you palpate, or if you get an ultrasound, honestly, we'll have a whole nother video on ultrasounds. They're not as good as everybody thinks they are. You really need to understand the philosophy and what the animal is doing before an ultrasound can be helpful. But once you actually are hands-on in the cages, you're going to see things that you can't see if I'm hiring somebody to do that work. Now, maybe the crew can see that, but as I did in my, one of my other videos, is breeding is like an art form. It's like paint night. You can have 10 people go to a paint night and every picture is going to look different. So it's your interpretation on the animal. And that's why I think breeding reptiles is so exciting. So kind of first, I just wanted to get that out of it. I didn't need the help. And I think that there becomes a certain scale where you do. I am still manageable and maintainable because I found efficiencies in growing my collection from a small collection to a large collection. I found things that work and things that don't. And that could be its whole other video topic as well. But what really drove it is when I got married, my wife said, hey, let's go to Thailand for a honeymoon. And well, we got to be away for 2 weeks. We can't just go for a week. So I think leaving reptiles for 5 days to a week, maybe a little bit more, is okay, as long as you're set up, to have it kind of self-maintain. It's not ideal because snakes are going to be going to the bathroom and, they might tip their water bowl. But for the most part, as long as you're set up properly, leaving for a week is manageable. You're going to come back and there's going to be a lot of work, but it's manageable. And she said, let's go to Thailand. And I said, well, how long do we go to Thailand for? And she said, well, we got to go at least 11 to 14 days. And that's when I started thinking that, okay, I don't have anybody else to help me. If I leave, there's nobody I can call and say, hey, go over. The collection is at a scale that is large enough that I cannot just call a friend or call a family member and say, hey, can you go over and change that water bowl and spot clean that cage? I think really once you get past a certain number, and you'll know it, once you get past a certain number of cages, it's no longer just phone a friend and say, go over and take care of this. It's self-explanatory. Or you show them in a weekend, or you tell them, come over, I'll show you what to do. It's something that you almost have to be trained on. And it's not that it's difficult, but it will be so overwhelming. So that was one thing that didn't necessarily push me over the edge, but it got me thinking, man, I need some help and I need to find some reliable people. But I somewhat brushed it off and I just said, all right, well, we won't go on 2 to 3 week vacations. No big deal. Because I travel a lot for work, and I always kind of, I might be away, or I used to travel a lot for work, and I might be away Monday through Friday, or Sunday through Friday, and then Saturday I would clean all the cages and go away again. And that's manageable. It's not ideal, but it's manageable. And then what happened was I had surgery, and I couldn't do anything. And that's where I really said, okay, I need some help, because I had surgery, and I didn't have anybody else to help. I had nobody to call. I can't clean the cages, and I needed to. And, we're going on, basically I gave a week to recover, and I came down here and I started picking away at the cages, and I really forced myself into something that I shouldn't have been doing at that time, but I needed to do it. And that's when I kind of pushed me over the edge to say, I need help, because if I want to go away and be successful, I need help. if something like this happens again, if I break my leg or break my arm, that's probably more important than my leg, because although my leg is more important in terms of cleaning cages, I need to be able to lift the bins and get into the bins. So if that happens, I don't have anybody to help. And that's really what pushed me to say, all right, I need some help. So I put out a couple posts on Facebook and Instagram, and I got flooded with a ton of inquiries. And really, I'm not probably fantastic people, but it was also needed to be people that could work around my schedule. I work Monday through Friday, you know, a lot, 50-ish hours plus a week, and, you know, or about there a week, plus, you know, having a life and everything else in between of work. So it needed to be people that could accommodate my schedule, which were really weekends, where we could knock out a huge group of cages. And at this point, again, I can get through this whole room in about 4 hours, 3 hours or so. At this point, maybe about 3 hours. Sometimes if the cages are clean, 2 hours. So I'm efficient. I know what to do. I've been doing this for 25 years. It's nothing new. But I figured for new people coming in, it would probably take them double or triple the time, because one, they're not acclimated to my setup, they're not acclimated to the snakes or the cages or really what I need them to do. So I said, all right, you know, I need 2 people, and it would be good to get these people in rotation, because I don't need them both here at once. I want to focus on them one-at-one or one-on-one so I can train them up. But, you know, I put this post on Facebook, and I probably got 100 inquiries from people wanting to do this. What I tried to do is pick people who really wanted it because they wanted to be here, and they wanted to either learn or they wanted to be around snakes, because a lot of people just wanted the job, and that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who's interested in the snakes. This really isn't necessarily a job. It's a hobby, and it's a passion, and people who just need a paycheck, I kind of weeded out instantly, because totally understandable and respectable, but if you're going to be here and there's going to be longevity, it's not like I'm paying, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a week to have this happen. I just can't. It's not sustainable. So that's another factor, is the cost. Is, you know, this is something I enjoy doing myself. Has to pay them something, because there's cost to get up here. But at the same time, I can't just keep investing a ton of money into something that I like doing myself. That's how I always kind of balance, is it worth paying somebody or should I just do it? One is a time perspective, which is kind of a piece of this, but it's also kind of, I enjoy doing it. And would I pay myself whatever to do this? And yes, the answer is yes. I would do it if somebody paid me the money. But at this point, I needed somebody to kind of supplement, and I needed a crew of people that if I needed to go away for a week, they could come in and, you know, here's the keys to my house, go make sure everything's good, and I know I can trust these people. And now we're at the point where I can. But, so I was inquiring, you know, kind of getting back to the selection, I was inquiring, got a whole bunch of people, and really I got 2 or 3 people at first who showed, you know, a lot. Well, I had maybe 15 people that showed a significant amount of interest, and half of them really couldn't accommodate my weekend schedule because they worked on weekends, which is understandable. But I cannot work all day and then work all night and then also do stuff on weekends. So it really kind of, that weeded that group of people out, even though there were some good people. And actually all the people who are here, my whole crew, Zach, Nick, Greg, they were all previous customers. So Zach grabbed some cocoa blocks, and I knew Zach from that. So I said, all right, this guy's cool. He's not going to try to kill me. He doesn't seem like he's going to rob from me. He's good. So I put him on the maybe he can be here. Greg bought a whole bunch of the special line snakes and the Central Americans that I've been working with. And when I met him in person, he was just a cool dude, gave me a good vibe, really showed a strong interest in the animals, and seemed like he was going to be here for the right reasons. And same thing with Nick. Nick bought some snakes from me, I want to say 2016, and we've stayed in touch through Instagram over the years, you know, a couple messages here and there. When I moved to Connecticut, he lives in Connecticut, and he showed interest. He's like, dude, I want to be here. I just want to learn. I want to see what's happening. And I think that was another drive for that, is they were all good people that I felt I could trust. They're all people that wanted it for the right reasons, because financially, you know, it's more of it's compensation to cover your time, but you're not going to get rich cleaning snakes here. I wish I could tell you otherwise. There's just, you know, that's why it's a perfect topic. The giveaway winner for this next couple week video is because that everything's a factor, and when you actually start writing down your expenses, it becomes something that you need to look at in more more in-depth or you're gonna be at a loss. So that's kind of how I pick the crew, why I pick them. They were just great people. We also have kind of this rule that if you get new snakes, you're quarantined for a little bit. I only wanted 1 or 2 people, but 3 people is actually working out pretty well because the past few weeks I've just been having all 3 over here, and I've been trying to somewhat back out of the room. So to date, I'm still here for the most part. I'm cleaning with them. I want to be cleaning with them. I have a great time with these people, and I hope they have a great time here too. I mean, we're all sweating, we're all hot. It's not like, you know, we're just kind of drinking beers at a baseball game, which would be more fun, which we should do. Maybe we'll do something like that. That'll be cool. But it's kind of like we're all here sharing a common interest, talking about reptiles, talking about stuff. So I do enjoy it. But the past few weeks I've been having the 3 of them here. I've been somewhat backing away. This upcoming week I told them all, hey, you know, no cleaning this week because I need to get into all the cages. Because there's cages here where I'll look through during the week, but I don't necessarily do a real in-depth look like I'm doing when I'm physically cleaning them. You know, the whole cage is coming out. I'm looking at them. I'm understanding the animal, then I'm putting them back. So I told them this week, let's hold off. So it's important to understand that balance of you can't just pawn it all off. This is still your baby, and you can't just say, here you go, what do they call those people? The nannies? I don't know if that's the right word for it, but you know what I'm saying. And that's the same thing here. If I don't raise these animals and I don't maintain them and understand them and spend time with them, they're not going to be my animals anymore. They're not going to be something that I understand the same way I used to, and I won't be able to do the breeding like I could. So that, I think, covers all the topics, kind of how I pick them, why I pick them, what we do, who they are. And I really liked this video topic because they're great people, and I think that you know, I believe in them. They're all going to be doing some really cool stuff in the future. They're going to have some really cool babies. And kind of getting into the quarantine thing, we have this just open line of communication. If you have mites, let me know. We'll manage it. Not the end of the world. None of them have had it. But it's one of those things where we're taking the proper precautions. And that's the other thing that was very, very difficult to get over is a trust issue. Not so much stealing. You know, these guys are good people. Could it happen? Of course it would, but, or I should say, of course it could, but I like to believe these are not the type of people that would do that. I like to think they're similar-minded to me, and they have other things to do than steal from other people. But again, it's kind of the health-wise collection. We need to make sure everybody's animals are healthy. If my animals are sick, they could bring something to them. If their animals are sick, they could bring something here, and it could just be this downward spiral for everybody. So we have this kind of open line. We talk. If one of the guys, he says, hey, I think I found a mite. It wasn't a mite. It was just probably like a pepper thing. And I said, where is it? And it's in his kitchen. And it turned out it wasn't a mite. He still quarantined himself for like 3 weeks. But it wasn't a mite. It was just, but that was the precautions we have to take. And that's the advantage of kind of the guys that I have is I feel like we have this open line. We have this level of trust, and I think we're friends. I like to think we're friends, and I like to treat it like that because, you know, we're all here in the same hobby, doing the same thing, supporting each other, growing each other. So with that said, guys, I hope you all liked this video. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe it. If you're not already checking out the Patreon, make sure you check it out. You don't need to subscribe to it. Really, I gotta be honest, I'm not super active with the posts. I enjoy the one-on-ones and the community chats more. I do need to step up my posts a little bit more. I started on that. The platform is just kind of clumsy. It doesn't let you post videos readily, but I do try to give more in-depth posts. So as we go through the breeding season, I'm trying to take pictures and explain what's happening, explain, hey, I'm dropping my temperatures now. Now's time to pair your males and females. That's what I try to, or I should say, that's what I'm trying to turn it into. So with all that said, again, check that out, patreon.com/Jason's Exotic Reptiles. If you're looking for some animals, jasonsexoticreptiles.com. Obviously, check out Facebook, Instagram, all that social media stuff. You're going to see some cool stuff there. So until next week, I appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos. Let's keep it moving.